Powers and functions of administrative agencies. Administrative agencies are federal or state agencies established to perform a certain function. Regulations administrative agencies issue make up the body of administrative law. Administrative law is created by the administrative agency, not like statutory law that is created by legislatures. The executive agencies are on a national level. An example of that is going to be the Food and Drug Administration. The federal level will be the independent regulatory agencies. An example of that would be Security and Exchange Commission. On a state and local level, the administrative agency would be considered a state agency. An example of that would be Pollution Control Agency. Agency powers and the Constitution. Legislative rules are as legally binding as laws that are passed by Congress. Interpretive rules are not legally binding. However, they simply indicate how an agency plans to interpret and enforce its statutory authority. Courts generally hold that Article 1 of the U.S. Constitution is the basis for all administrative law. Section 1 of that article grants all legislative power to Congress and requires Congress to oversee the implementation of all laws. The delegation doctrine is a doctrine based on the U.S. Constitution, which has been construed to allow Congress to delegate some of its power to administrative agencies that make and implement laws. The three branches of the government contain controls over agency powers and functions. Administrative agencies, which constitute the bureaucracy, are sometimes referred to as the fourth branch of the U.S. government. The executive controls exercise control over the agencies through both the president's power to appoint federal officers and the president's veto power. The president may veto enabling legislation presented by Congress or congressional attempts to modify an existing agency's authority. Legislative controls. Congress exercises authority of agency power through legislation. Legislative authority is required to fund an agency. Legislative controls also allow Congress to investigate the implementation of its laws and the agencies that it created. It also has the power to freeze the enforcement of most federal regulations before the regulations take effect. The judicial controls exercise control over agencies' powers through the court's review of agency action. However, parties seeking court review must first exhaust all administrative remedies under what is called the exhaustion doctrine. The Administrative Procedure Act is an act should any of the directives be absent from Congress concerning a particular agency procedure. The Administrative Procedure Act applies. The APA sets forth the rules and regulations that govern the procedures administrative agencies follow in performing their duties. In summary, we went over the U.S. Constitution stating that Congress can delegate the implementation of its laws to govern agencies. Congress can also monitor an area which it has passed laws without becoming bogged down in details relating to enforcement. We also covered administrative agencies and administrative law. Agencies can create legislative rules. We also went over the three branches of government and the controls that they exercise over agency powers and functions. The three branches were executive, legislative, and judiciary. Thank you.